The Israeli army carried out a drone strike against what it claims was a terror cell in Nur Shams camp under Tulkarem in West Bank. According to the IDF, the operatives were planting an explosive device when they were hit. According to reports, the location of the strike was about 100 meters from where an Israeli soldier was killed by a roadside bomb. The Palestinian Authority Health Ministry in the West Bank said that 4 people have died as a result of the IDF drone strike. An Israeli attack has also killed 12 Palestinians, including 9 members of the same family, in a designated safe zone after they followed Israel's evacuation orders to leave eastern Khan Yunis. The IDF order to leave Khan Yunis, which is Gaza's second largest city, has triggered the 3rd mass flight of Palestinians in as many months, throwing Palestinians deeper into chaos, confusion and misery as they scramble to find safety. The UN Humanitarian Coordinator for Gaza has said that 1.9 million people, that is around 80% of the besieged enclave's population, have now been displaced. Issuing similar concerns, the United Nations has estimated that some 250,000 people will have to flee large areas of southern Gaza to comply with new orders, further emphasizing on how the pattern of repeated civilian displacement is likely to continue even as the Israeli military speaks of a lower intensity war.
Initial estimates by UNRWA indicates that nearly 250,000 people may have resided in the areas that are subject to the evacuation at the time the order was given. New evacuation order affects over 90 school buildings, many of which host displaced families, 4 medical points, and the European Gaza hospital area.
Meanwhile, a day after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Israel is nearing the elimination of what he described as Hamas' terrorist army, he has now insisted that the war on Hamas would be a long campaign, rejecting reports that the IDF could slow down the operations in Gaza before achieving all of its aims. Netanyahu said that his country would not give into the winds of defeatism, and the Israeli army chief said that the destruction of the Hamas infrastructure would take some more time. On the diplomatic front, French President Emmanuel Macron has urged Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to prevent conflagration between Israel and Hezbollah militants in Lebanon. During a telephonic conversation, Macron insisted on the urgency for all parties to move rapidly towards a diplomatic solution and urged Netanyahu to refrain from any new operation in Gaza near Khan Yunis. Meanwhile, the deputy leader of Hezbollah said that the only path to cessation of hostilities on the Lebanon-Israeli border is a full ceasefire in Gaza. He said that if Israel scales back its military operations without a formal ceasefire agreement and full withdrawal from Gaza, then Hezbollah's participation in the Israel-Hamas war will no longer exist. However, the Hezbollah leader outlined that the implications of the Israel-Lebanon war are less clear.
The third phase that Israel talks about in Gaza is still unclear. It could be a prelude to a ceasefire and an agreement with Palestinians. It could be a continuation of the war in another form, or it could be a transitional phase. We in Lebanon, as Hezbollah, cannot decide how to deal with this new phase because it is unclear in its features. However, we have previously announced that if the next phase is a ceasefire, we will stop firing in Lebanon.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.